So if you're moving to the Atlanta area and you're looking for a super walkable neighborhood in the city, well then you have to consider Virginia Highland, and that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm on my bike today. It's going to be a hot one, and I'm going to show you around this whole neighborhood, tell you why it's so popular to live in, and I'm going to tell you about the school change up that happened this year. So stay tuned. We're talking all about living in Virginia Highland right now. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Molly, and if you are wanting to know everything about living in the Atlanta area, you have come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow along. And I'm getting breathless because I am riding my bike up a hill. Yes, there are some hills in Virginia Highland, but hey, if you're needing help with your home search, you're not knowing where to live, make sure you reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, because that is what I am here to do, is help you find a place to call home here in the Atlanta area. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a little bit of an art riding your bike and talking into a camera at the same time. I really need to get myself an e-bike, but I don't ride my bike very often on the streets. But I'm gonna take you down to one of the first attractions of living in Virginia Highland, which is the Beltline. So let me take you there next. All right, so your first stop here is the Beltline. I just hit Greenwood and took it right into the Beltline, and I took a left. I'm going to take you down over to Ponce City Market real quick. That's probably a quarter of a mile from the Greenwood entrance. So over at Ponce City Market, you can go to the food hall, do a little boutique shopping. There's also a Kroger over there, and there's also a Whole Foods across the street, Starbucks, Home Depot, all of those great things. So that's what you can expect hanging a left onto the Beltline. And this is one great thing about living in Virginia Highland, is you can access the Beltline pretty easily. Now, if you live on the east side of North Highland, that'll probably be more like a mile to get to your closest Beltline access point. But if you live on the other side of North Highland, you can definitely get here within a half a mile to a mile. It just really kind of depends on where you live. People that live in Virginia Highland love having easy access to the Beltline. So there you go, there's Ponce City Market for you, and right behind me is a Kroger, and they even have like a walk-up bar that you can go to. I see that full on the weekends. There's a Starbucks there, so that's pretty cool. You could grab coffee on your walk, and you're gonna see a lot of people out biking, walking, and it's the morning time, so there are not a lot of people at Ponce City Market right now, but during lunchtime, especially on the weekends, it's gonna get really packed in there. But that's a great destination that residents of Virginia Highland can walk to. Now I'm gonna turn around, head back the other way, take you to another great destination that people love living next to in Virginia Highland, and that is Piedmont Park. So while I'm pedaling over there, let me tell you where Virginia Highland is located, and you're going to see that Virginia Highland is pretty central to the city. It is right next to Piedmont Park, just a few miles from Midtown. You know, if you're looking at drive times, getting to the airport is about 23 minutes, and I would say I've never, even in bad traffic, getting to the airport has never been a problem for me. Now, coming back from the airport, that can take you longer. There's just usually more traffic coming into town. Other drive times, Midtown, 8 minutes, downtown, 14 minutes, and getting over to Buckhead, about 17 minutes with no traffic. But I tell you what, getting from Buckhead back to Virginia Highland at the 5 o'clock hour can be horrendous. You know, it's only about a 6-mile drive, but it can take you 40 minutes in high traffic time. So just keep that in mind. One stop I'm going to make right before going to Piedmont Park is right here behind me. It's called a Midtown Promenade. It's a little shopping center. It has a Trader Joe's, which I feel like on the weekends that is an attraction stop. It gets really, really busy. And side note, if you think you're going to walk here, do a little Trader Joe's shopping and walk home with a bunch of grocery bags, think again, because if you're like me and you go to a store thinking you're going to buy 2 things and then you come out with like 3 bags, it is really heavy hauling all that stuff back home. So just a little side note there. But let's go give you a quick shot of what is around here, and then we'll keep heading to the Piedmont Park area. Now I realize I didn't explain what the Beltline is, but as you can see, it is a walking jogging trail. When it's all completed, it'll be a 22-mile loop around the city, connecting over 40 different neighborhoods together. So I have a couple of different Beltline tours you can go watch on my channel to get more information. But it is kind of like the thing that everyone wants to live by, that and a coffee shop. So welcome to Piedmont Park. This is like the central park of Atlanta. On the other side is Midtown, so you got great skyline views. Piedmont Park is where they hold several different festivals throughout the year. You've got Music Midtown, there is the Dogwood Festival, the list goes on and on. So when there are big festivals in town, it is great that you live in Virginia Highland because you can just walk here, because parking around here can be very, very tight. You can walk, you can ride your bike. You know, I live about 0.8 miles, so it's really not that bad. You've got Park Tavern here on the corner. They actually are dog friendly. You can go get a bite to eat there, some beers. They have a bunch of big screen TVs to watch sporting events, so that's a fun place and a venue. People actually get married. There's a wedding venue place there too, but they have different holiday events in the holiday season. And there is a public pool that you can go to. There is a dog park, so if you've got dogs, they've got a really nice dog park also. And yeah, the list goes on and on. There's a farmer's market, so it's just a beautiful park. And on really nice days, this field will just be flooded with people chilling, hanging out, having picnics, so on and so forth. So this is just really nice that you have this within a quick walk from your home over in Virginia Highland. Okay, so I've shown you what's on the outskirts of this neighborhood that everyone loves being able to walk to or run to. This is a great neighborhood to take a run in, by the way. I'm a big runner and I love running through this neighborhood, and you have the options of running through Piedmont Park or heading on the Beltline for a flat terrain. But now let's head into the neighborhood. I'm going to talk about schools next. We got to show you some home examples, and there's more. There's this main hub where everyone likes to hang out and get some food, ice cream, that kind of thing. So stay tuned, a lot more coming up. Before I hit the schools, I want to talk about an exciting development kind of being talked about right now. Not any promises are happening yet, but I want to mention this empty field right here. This belongs to the Atlanta Public Schools. There is some chitter chatter going on in the neighborhood about potentially building an all year round pool and a pickleball court, which I would totally love, because I mean, there are so many kids in this neighborhood that would totally utilize this space. And so yeah, there's chitter chatter about it, nothing guaranteed at this point, but that would be totally exciting for everyone that lives in the neighborhood. I mean, yeah, you can go over to Piedmont Park and hit their pool, but I will be honest with you, it's a little bit of a pain when you've got young kids, because you still have to park, walk a quarter of a mile, and when they're done swimming at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is walk. So this would be a great option for people that live in the neighborhood. But let me go up just catty corner from this. There's a new school I want to tell you about, so come on. So I've done a vlog tour of Virginia Highland before, but I wanted to do a fresh one because there's been a lot of changes in this neighborhood, including home prices. Those have gone up, and there's a new school in this neighborhood. Now, this used to be a former middle school that has switched over into the Old Fourth Ward area. So side note, if you've got a kid in middle school or high school is right across from Piedmont Park, so they can walk there easily from this neighborhood, or they can hop the Beltline and get over to the middle school. But let's talk about this new elementary school. This is called the Virginia Highland Elementary School. Back when I did my last vlog tour, they were talking about making this into a 4th, 5th grade academy, but then that went out the window. They formed a new school here. So the neighborhood has been kind of rezoned. And if you live on the eastern side of North Highland Avenue, you're going to be going over to Springdale Park, which is where everyone used to go, and now the people on the west side are going to this Virginia Highland Elementary School. It's only been in business for a couple of weeks, but I will say the backing for this new school has been great. We've got a great leader, great principal that was the former principal of the Springdale Park Elementary School, and I'd say both elementary schools are wonderful. My kids personally go to this one, and I will say another awesome thing about this school is you can walk your kid here. I mean, not for everybody, but for a lot of parents, they're walking their kids to school every morning. It's a great sight to see. So there you go. That's the update on this school. But if you want to know more information about this school or just living here in general, make sure you're reaching out to me. We can have a further discussion. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I'm over in John Howell Park, and this is just a very well-loved park, and actually the neighborhood is trying to raise funds to do a big overhaul of this park. There's actually a really big field up on the other side of these trees, and so there's always events going on there as well. But yeah, the neighborhood is trying to raise funds, and I've heard upwards of $500,000 to $1 million to renovate this park. So I don't know when this will happen, but I know the process has started, and it would be great to see what happens with this park because a lot of kids use this park, and it is directly across the street from the Virginia Highland Elementary School. All right, I'm going to continue along Virginia Avenue about 0.2 miles from John Howell Park. We're going to run into the main hub of this neighborhood, Virginia and Highland. That's where the intersection is. And there's a bunch of restaurants around there. Murphy's, that's my favorite go-to. There's George's, which everyone hangs out, drinks beer, watches sporting event games. There's ice cream shops, there's a pizza place, there's a donut shop. So let me go show you what that's all about. All right, there you go. There is your tour of kind of the main hub of Virginia and Highland. Lots of places to go and eat at or do a little bit of shopping. Now, there are a few other little pockets along North Highland, either north or south of this area, just with a few other little restaurants. So there's a few more that I could have shared. I just don't have time for everything, but that gives you a quick look. Now, forgot to mention grocery stores. Now, if you live in this area, where do you do your grocery shopping? Well, I showed you Trader Joe's. There is a Whole Foods over there by the Ponce City Market. There is a Publix just north of here on Ponce de Leon. And then there is a Kroger on the Beltline. There's also a Kroger and a Publix over in the Ansley Mall area. So lots of grocery store options to choose from. Now, Virginia Highland has a lot of festivals. They have a porch festival that's kind of newer for this neighborhood. They have a bunch of bands playing on people's porches. It gets super crowded, a lot of fun. There is also the Summerfest Festival, which is in the summertime. It's just like a music, arts, crafts festival. And then there is a winter festival in December. That's a newer one as well. Lots of fun for the kiddos, the parents, everybody that lives in the community. And I will say one thing about living in Virginia Highland, you know, I live about 0.8 miles from Piedmont Park. You will hear events happening in Piedmont Park. You're going to hear that noise. The good thing is Piedmont Park has a rule that all festivities shut down by 11 p.m. But you can hear music. I've heard fireworks, and you know, if you aren't into a little bit of noise every once in a while, then yeah, maybe this neighborhood is not for you. Okay, now that I've shown you all of the hot spots of Virginia Highland, you're probably wondering, what does it cost to live in this neighborhood? Well, it's not the cheapest, and you basically are paying for the location, because there are some homes in here that, you know, you're kind of in sticker shock of what you're paying for what you get. But I will say the location is phenomenal. So the median sales price in Virginia Highland right now is $1.2 million. And I will say, you know, a couple years ago, you could still grab a 4-bedroom, 3-bath bungalow, maybe 1,800, 2,000 square feet for right around $1 million. But that is kind of going out the window. It's really actually hard to find any homes under $1 million these days, unless they are a tear down or they need a remodel or it's really quirky. So I'm going to show you some home examples. I'm walking to one here. I got some construction going on, but lots of cute homes around here. You can just kind of see what's around here. So what you're going to find in this neighborhood is a lot of bungalow style homes, brick bungalows, Tudor style homes. You've got craftsmen, a lot of new construction as well. Now, if you're wanting new construction or newer construction, you know, built in the last, 5 years, those are definitely over $2 million now. Now, I've seen a new construction at $2.6 million. I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. But yeah, if you're wanting a brand new construction, and you'll get a basement, 2-car garage, probably 4,000, 5,000 square feet, it'll be up there 2.3 million, 2.4, somewhere in that range, and they can go up from there. Just kind of depends on where it's at and what the quality of the finishes are. So I had a couple people reach out to me thinking they could get a new construction under 2 million, and I was like, not anymore. At one time, yes, you could, but not anymore. But let me go show you something that is more in kind of like your average price point right now, so you get an idea, and then we'll talk about some options that are a little more expensive and one that is a little less expensive. Okay, here's an example of a home. This was a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, just over 3,200 square feet. It sold for $1.35 million. Now, it does not have a garage, and that's one thing in this neighborhood. A lot of these homes will not have garages. They'll just have like a tandem driveway. If it does have a garage, the price probably will go up. Now, this home was renovated, but it was probably renovated in like the early 2000s, so it kind of has that like early 2000s tan tile in the bathrooms. The wood floor is kind of that, it's just not like the popular color anymore. It's kind of what's in my house too. It's not like the lighter flooring color or a darker one. It's kind of that, not orangish, but kind of almost orangish. But a great home. It's just some of the updates aren't like what we would think of as a 2023 finish. But check out this cute little bungalow right next to it. So this is what is so charming about this neighborhood. You're just going to get all of these different styles of homes. It's not a cookie cutter neighborhood. Let me keep going. I'm going to show you one home example that is just under $1 million. Again, getting hard to find around this area unless it's a tear down or needs a lot of work. So let me go show you that next. All right, I'm coming up to a home example. This one sold for $970,000. It was a 3-2, just over 2,000 square feet right behind me. Now it was updated. It has some of the original built-ins. The kitchen updated, but it is small, and I have a feeling that the bedroom closets are small. So there's an example for you for just under $1 million. Now, my rule of thumb when you're shopping for homes in the Virginia Highland area or Morningside, because Morningside is right next door, feels very similar to Virginia Highland, just a slightly higher price point. But my rule of thumb is the lower the price point, there's usually a catch. It's either a quirky layout or the primary bedrooms on the upper floor with all the other bedrooms on the first floor. So that's not usually ideal for people with kids. That's kind of my rule of thumb. So if it sounds too good to be true, there is usually some sort of catch. All right, to finish off my homes or single family home examples, I want to show you one that was on the higher end. This is on the border of Virginia Highland and Morningside. This is a new build, just over 4,800 square feet, 2-car garage, a basement. This sold for just over $2.6 million. Now, I will say it had fabulous finishes inside. I got the chance to go and visit this home when it was for sale. All the top of the line finishes, the light oak flooring. I mean, it was just beautiful inside. I will say it didn't have like a huge backyard, and that is one thing in Virginia Highland. It kind of just depends on the lot. A lot of these lots are long, narrow but long and skinny. So, you know, it may look like a small house from the front, but then it extends way back into the lot. So there you go. There's some home examples for you. Now let's swing the pendulum and talk about condos, because there are quite a few condos in Virginia Highland and the median sales price is $280,000. Let me get over to where the condos are. We'll talk a little bit more about them in detail. Okay, let's talk about condos real quick. So yes, Virginia Highland, as you can see, is an expensive place to live, but there are some condo buildings in Virginia Highland. Now, I've had several people call me and say, hey, I want a condo in Virginia Highland, but I need a 2-car covered garage. I want an elevator. It's got to be newer. Yeah, that stuff does not exist in Virginia Highland. You're going to get more something like this, an older building like this, maybe 2-story, maybe 3-story at the max. It's not going to have an elevator. These are old buildings. They have a lot of charm inside. They're just not going to be like the newest, latest and greatest finishes. Some have been renovated really nicely, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you can still get those creaky floors. So if you live on the lower level, you might hear your neighbor up above. But you know, the price point is really good. Median sales price, $280,000. I'd say like on the higher end, you know, upper 300s, maybe $400K if you're getting like a lot of space for that condo. But you're gonna find a lot of these condos and apartment complexes on St. Charles and Greenwood Avenue. That's the majority of where you'll find those, because that's where it's zoned for multi-residential units. You can see on this side, all single family homes right here. This is on Greenwood Avenue. Now, if you hike back that way, you're gonna hit the Beltline. And if you go the other way, you're gonna hit a little area where there are some bars and that kind of thing. One thing I'll mention, I didn't talk about townhomes today, but there are townhomes in this neighborhood as well. They're kind of sprinkled on the edges of this neighborhood. Median sales price is $925,000. Now, I think that might be a little high just because recent sales have been some new build townhomes. So that may be skewing the numbers a little bit. But yeah, if you're wanting a condo, you know, I'd say a lot of probably younger crowd lives in some of these condo buildings because it's fairly affordable for your first home purchase and it's close to all the walkable things. So there you go. There's some examples of condos. Like I said, if you hike it up back towards North Highland, you're going to hit all of the bars. So let me go show you that scene right now. So yeah, that scene back there off of Greenwood, North Highland Avenue, that's probably where you're gonna see a lot more of the nightlife, some of the younger people coming out to hang out in the evening hours. But there you go, you guys, that's my tour today of the Virginia Highland area. I hope this was helpful for you. I don't know where the sun went, now it's all cloudy, but hey, it's keeping the temperature a little cooler for me, but I'm still pretty hot and sticky. So I'm gonna head home, cool off, but thanks for tuning in, you guys. As always, if you're thinking about making a move tomorrow or next year and you need help with that home purchase, give me a shout, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Let's talk about your move here. Would love to help you out. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.